Oh, er zitten allemaal mensen, joh. Kijk, kijk, kijk. Zie je dat? Wat is dit, joh? Een soort scoutingachtig iets. Er komt ook iemand gelijk hier naartoe. Oh jee. Kom. Zit mijn haar goed. Ik ga me even netjes voorstellen. Hallo?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Good evening. I'm from the Netherlands. And I'm driving around the state to see who's awake after dark. So I was just stopping to see what's going on. Is this like some Boy Scout area or?
Well, no, this is our pavilion right here, and we're a little community up here in the Ozarks. So we've been here about 2 years. This is our makeshift community center for the time being.
You built this yourself?
Yeah, actually everything here we've built ourselves.
Cool. And it's like an outdoor community?
Yeah, we are a homesteading community.
Ah,
Nice. The
nice.
association, though, is for preserving European heritage through intentional community.
Okay. You are European or what is...
My ancestry is European,
Ah, ja.
and the United States was founded by migrants from Europe. And there are many people in this boat now, white people in America, people of European heritage in America, who, you know, they thought they belonged to something, and now the definition of what American means has changed. A lot of people talk about white guilt and things like that, and that's not something that I want to expose my kids to. I'd rather take control over the culture that I hand down to my kids, and I want it to be a culture that reflects the views and sentiments and values of my ancestors.
Okay.
You know, you can have black pride, Asian pride, Hispanic pride, that's all fine. But if you say white pride, then you're on a terrorist watch list.
Oh, ja?
Yeah,
Are you?
I'm sure I am, yeah.
Ja?
Mhm.
Okay.
So we're trying to preserve our heritage by creating communities. I'm currently building my house here, and I intend to move here as soon as I can.
Okay. But there's already people living here, or?
Yes.
Oh.
Mostly smaller cabins, because we're not financing construction. There was nothing here 2 years ago. This was just raw land.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
Hi.
I grew up in Southern California. 60 years ago, California was, 80, 90% white. And now it's less than half white. I can't necessarily even communicate with the people who moved into my hometown. So when I go there, I feel like the foreigner. And there are a lot of Americans who are currently experiencing that.
Yeah? Why do you think that's a bad thing?
I think it's good to feel a sense of belonging and like you have a home and you have people who identify with you and care about you just because of who you are. With a place like this, we have some control over our own destiny.
And of course, you can obviously come to understand people that are less similar to you, but it's easier with people who share a lot of genetic similarity.
Oh, so it's mainly genetically, not culturally, or both?
Well, it's both.
If you don't support traditional European values or identity, then you're not welcome in our association, because that's why it exists. We can have members who are European pagans, Christians, but if someone was, for example, a Muslim, I would say that's not a traditional European religion, and so they wouldn't really qualify.
Okay. Are you afraid of progress?
It's kind of a loaded question because progress implies some kind of moral growth. I think a lot of things about society are not getting better, they're getting worse. Relations between the genders are worse, I think, than they were 100 years ago.
Do you also feel the same about that? That these traditional roles should be as they were like 100 years ago between men and women?
Yeah, I would say I think relatively the same way. I believe in traditional roles.
But at the same time, women didn't have as much rights as they do now, 100 years ago.
In some ways, they had more rights. They had their own bathrooms, and they were protected generally. They could walk at night without an escort in many cases.
In an area like this, I feel pretty comfortable.
This community here, I don't think we could ever get larger than 150, 200 people.
Yeah.
But there are other communities that are kind of cropping up in the association. We have members all over the country. In the last 3 months, we probably had, I don't know, like 3,000, 4,000 applicants.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow.
So I'd like this to be available as an option everywhere.
How do you feel about the current administration?
Trump has been fairly good in terms of securing the border. And, you know, I live here. My kids live here. I don't want unvetted people from all over the world just pouring into our society. And the government does not have a responsibility to people in the third world. It has a responsibility to its people. That's what the government is for, to represent us.
Because you feel people are taking advantage of America and Americans.
Very much so.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think in the USA, you're better off as an invader than a citizen.
Yeah, this is my lot here.
And this is going to be your house.
Yes, yep.
You told me you have kids. They're going to grow up surrounded by a homogenic kind of people. Aren't you afraid that they're missing out on all the spices and all the...
I think there's enough depth in our own culture. I think if you kind of treat life as a buffet and you take a little bit from here and a little bit from there, you're not going to get that depth. So I don't look at it that way. I think there's enough depth in one community or one culture where that can be satisfying.